Okay, Dana. Well, you could insert like cricket chirping noises here as I approach the podium. Just a quick housekeeping before we get started. Bill, in my podium introduction, said that if you wanted any more information about me, you could approach him after the meeting. So if the line could start here and then stretch there and then along that wall, that would be perfect. I've never been introduced that way. That's that was oh. Thank you. It too, Brimer. Well, it was a year of accomplishment last year, and I promised myself that we're here to talk about Pam and her year as president. We have much to do, so I'm not going to belabor the point. We actually inserted a mole at the chamber last year to collect information, and we have that person with us to report back on those findings. So please welcome our guest today and Pam's coworker, Joanne Mott. Let's welcome Joanne.
And please keep in mind that I do work for Pam. So I'm going to try to be as kind as I can be. Although I do... Is that better? Is that better? Okay. Although I do have quite a few notes here to go through about what's happened in the past year. Let's start at page 1. As the people of Rotary were getting together to plan this little roast, we were at a breakfast meeting, and Andy asked me how long I had worked with Pam. And I had to stop and think for a minute, and I'm like, well, it's just a little over a year, but it seems like so much longer. 3 things that everybody in this room knows about Pam is, 1, she's a hugger. Is there anybody in this room that has not been hugged by Pam Matt? Okay, so imagine this. My first time meeting Pam, I go to the office for the interview for the position which I now have. And we have this lovely interview and all goes well, and I stand to shake her hand at the end, and she comes around the side of the desk, she goes, oh no, I feel like I have to give you a hug. So it was like, okay. And I walked out of there and I'm like, okay, wow, this is interesting. Okay. The second thing that we all know about Pam is she is 100% committed to everything she does. Everyone knows that. There are many people in this room that I have never met personally, but have spoken to on the phone when they have called me, pleading with me to take their money for their dues because they don't want any more phone calls from Pam. And they're like, please, please take my money. Please take my money and make sure that you tell Pam that I paid because I don't want any more phone calls from Pam. And number 3, and probably the most important one, is we all know Pam is a crier. So in front of you, you will see that I have prepared, yes, very nice, her own brand of tissues, Princess Pam's tissues. You've all heard of Puffs, but these are Princess Pam's. Okay, so there's a couple things here. I ask you to please keep these if you feel like you're going to need them because you're going to have an encounter with Pam this year, which is going to require them. Please keep them by all means. But probably more importantly, if that is not the case, Melissa came and has a basket back there, and if you don't think that you're going to need them, please put them in to the basket so that we can have an ample supply for Pam. We seem to run out of these at the chamber all the time.
Just in case.
You got something else, Andy? All right.
Just in case anybody needs anything bigger, or maybe Pam needs something bigger, we got the jumbo size.
The jumbo size, okay.
This is the frying pan.
This is wonderful. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, Pam, we're gonna keep that right here. No, maybe you should hold it. There you go. And that's all I have to say.
That was so good. Please remember to hydrate. We do have glasses and water pitchers on the table, so stay hydrated. Normally at these affairs, we allow some spousal rebuttal time, but so that, and it's usually at the end, but so that the spouse cannot comment on any presentations to come, we're going to call on FX Matt to give us the inside scoop on Life with Pam. FX. Let's welcome FX.
Okay, thank you, Dana. So I'm the quiet guy, the quiet husband behind the force. And so, as you know, Pam is very, very active in Rotary, and over the years, she's gotten our family to be very, very active in Rotary. And so we've done many, many great things, and it's been, for the most part, just super. But as I think back on it, it's not always been clear to me that our participation was completely voluntary. So I went back and I saw some emails, and I collected some emails from our 5 kids, and I just got a series. I usually get copied on their emails to Pam, and so I pulled out a bunch just to give a little sampling, if you will. Okay, just to give a little color, this is from our oldest, our only daughter, the princess of our family. Mom, I hear the new foreign exchange student gets my room again for Christmas. Can I just have some extra blankets for the couch in the basement? That did happen. Here's our oldest son, Frank. Hi, Mom. I hear you're reviewing potential new exchange students to live with us next year. Please be sure to flag any applications that list baking, leaf raking, and mulch among their personal interests. I talked it over with the guys, and we agreed we'd be happiest with an exchange student that would do most of the yard work and bake us cookies. Your son, Michael. Hi, Mom. Yes, of course I'd love to participate in that Rotary Service project on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Okay. This is from the poet laureate of Rotary, our son Tom, who seems to win most years. Hi, Mom. Yes, I'd love to participate in the poetry contest again this year. Maybe we can do a joint poem about the joys of early morning service work. Or maybe about crazy trips to the Utica Zoo with Youth Exchange. Our youngest is Larry. He's just 17, and he writes, Dear Mom, yes, I would love to go to another Rotary lunch tomorrow. That is, of course, unless you have released anything embarrassing I've done in the last month to the club. For example, like the time I went to a Rotary lunch and people I had just met were asking if I was the son that untweeted you from Twitter. So we have had truly many, many enriching experiences as a family, and Pam has been kind enough to involve us all, and it's really been a super experience. So, thanks.
Thank you, FX. That was rather mild. I did notice, though, as FX was reading the copies of the emails, that many lines had been looked like crossed out with a magic marker, so I don't know what that's all about.
Well, there's that couch in the basement.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of Jim Turnbull, Jim has a presentation about Pam's Rotary work. He and Pam and Pam's Sergeant-at-Arms Mark Foresti were involved in the nuts and bolts of the club over the year, and we want to kind of introduce you to a little bit of that. So Jim, if you would. Jim Turnbull.
Good afternoon. Hi, Jim. This scarf is hot, Lou. Past President Andy contacted me and said, you know, we really have to get together to honor Pam for that year as president. Do you want to be involved with the planning? So I thought, just like the new TV show I was watching with Mike Rowe, somebody's got to do it. So after a few 7:30 morning meetings, which you know, Lou, how much I love those 7:30 meetings, and some training with past President Dana, here I am. But it is a privilege to say a few words about past President Pam, or Pamela. When you think of Pam Matt's year as president of Utica Rotary, what icon pops into your head? Yes, our own Energizer Rotary Bunny. Seen here beating the membership drum, which Pam did during her reign as president, which did bring in 30 new members due to that constant pounding. And Pam continues to beat the drum as our membership chair and as the district membership chair. I've also had the great pleasure of working with Pam on the group study exchange, and I want to take a second to set the record straight. When she applied for the Japanese team leader, I didn't say you weren't going to get it. I just said if a district governor applies, you might get bumped. So a couple weeks later, I get an email, I'm going to Japan. So that worked out very well. But during the visit with the Isle of Man exchange team, we were having dinner at Vernon Downs. And I was nice enough to sit with Matt and the children. And true story, so I was sitting and said, so you're Pam Matt's children. That must, whoop, I overrun, oh, that's screwed up. That must be exhausting. And also the, I had to put this one in because Pam and the Matts enjoy skiing together, and I just like that one. So someone also said, Pam is so busy, I don't know when she sleeps. I just thought she found a nice chair and powered down for the evening. So, and as a lot of people know, Pam loves birthdays. And during my term as president, Jim Day and I one of our speakers was a no-show. We're discussing what to do and standing in Twin Ponds, and all of a sudden Pam comes whisking by with a cake about half of her weight over the top of her head. And I turned to Jim and said, I think our program just arrived. And it did for one of the exchange students. So Pam, if you come up here for a minute.
Oh, no snake, please, right?
No snakes. So I would like to present you with your unofficial past president's pin, which says Club Energizer. This is actually an Energizer Bunny pin. Club for the Lovable, Unstoppable Bunny.
Oh.
With your new Paul Harris medallion. With the Energizer Bunny.
We hit someone wrong. Yeah, it makes noise.
And your Energizer Bunny running hat. For all those mornings out, keeping your energy levels up. Your Energizer Bunny coffee mug, because I don't know how much coffee you drink or what kind of drugs you're on. But that should help wash them down. And then this should match the photo quite nicely. So I'm sure. So I'm sure you're going to keep going and going and going with the Rotary, and we appreciate your year as president. Thank you for all the energy. So Mark, where's Mark? Oh, and so Mark Fresky has a presentation now? I'll leave that one up because that was my favorite one.
Good afternoon, everybody. You know, as Sergeant at Arms, we do a lot of things. I'm sure Jeff could attest to that, and our past Sergeant at Arms, right? So, when I was talking with Jim about this whole thing, The Energizer Bunny was clear that that's what really reflects Pam, and I think that's in anything she does. So I was searching for something that really summed up her whole year, and what really kept me going is an extra lithium battery to keep up with her. So all is good, because I always like a challenge. But here's what I came up with for a moment. I just want to be really serious, because I think what she did to the club is somehow captured in these words. But from the standpoint, true leaders are not those who strive to be first, but those who first to strive at anything. And I could attest, and everybody here could attest that she's done that. I think Joanne said that she puts 100% or 1,000% into anything she does, okay? With the betterment of success for the team, which is our club. True leaders are first to see the need, envision the plan, and empower the team for action, okay? By the strength of the leader's commitment, the power of the team is unleashed, which, being in that membership drum, right, was a big task to really make the club better than it was, in my opinion. In Pam's year as president, I feel she unleashed the power of great leadership. She didn't micromanage people, especially me. I'm not one of those type of guys. I just revolt against any of that stuff. And I'm sure in a lot of the committee meetings, she let people be herself. And I think that's what's really important. And that's what she really is good at. She knows when to step in. She knows when to give guidance. And to me, that's very important. And to building an organization, that is very important. As president, there were many accomplishments, some that I probably didn't even cover, and I didn't really list them out because there were so many of them. But in everything, she always put service before self. And that's the beautiful thing about a leader. They always put the team first, okay? However, as we went through this, now this is kind of, I have to add a little comedy into this thing, right? So there was one thing that she had a challenge with. And can anybody help me out with that? The snake. Pam, can I have you up here, please? You know, so I think that snake was about maybe, what, 8 or 10.
Is that what's in that bag?
Well, yeah, I need you to kind of go over here, though. It's unfortunate you took all your nice sport apparel off that Jim got you.
Yeah.
So, but the whole idea was to really have a little fun with this thing, right? So when I had you kind of, I had to put it over there by the heater to keep it. Kind of unusual, but I needed to add a little weight in there because it's not really heavy, you know. But the whole thing is really inside this little guy. So what I want you to do, he won't bite, and he's non-venomous. If you can find this, oh, he's just starting to come out. Really, he just kind of untied it, put a little rubber band around it to make sure, because he's so small. I didn't want him really to kind of get out. But I think you'll. Well, that's what you store snakes in. Keeps them warm. So what I want to do is just kind of stand by you while you overcome your fear. Reach down in there. It's going to be even better. So go ahead and reach down in there.
We do this trust thing somewhere along the line?
All the time.
We did this all the time.
Yes, all the time.
Okay, all right.
So go right in there and just kind of show everybody how cool it is. Right, so in the sport of good sense, right, you can kind of wrap that around.
I like this.
You know, I never tire of Mark's old reach in the bag trick. I mean, did that over at Columbus. There was some explaining to do, but it was just good stuff. We're gonna get highbrow here. We're gonna introduce the arts into our presentation, and we're going to feature actually 3 of the members that Pam brought into the club. And we're going to start with Mr. John Nogus. So polite applause, please, for John Nogus.
You don't have to lower this. Well, I was going to do a song, but it took a little long. So I went and wrote a poem instead. In my religious class, we did the word Christmas, and out of the word Christmas, all the letters, we did this banner, and we put the letters together for other words that meant the word Christmas. So I did the same thing for Pam. Pamela Matt. P is for President of Rotary and the great job she did. A is for her attitude, a jar of sunshine sealed with a lid. M is for the many wonderful things she does in such a great way. E is every task she undertakes each and every day. L is for the leadership she brought to Rotary this year. With her positive attitude we love so dear. A is for the after hours. They're terrific, I have to say. M is simple. She's a mother every day. A is for assertiveness to always get things done. The T is, yes, for the Twitter account that got cut off by her son. The other T is thank you, Pam, because last year was a lot of fun.
Thank you, John. J is for a job well done. O is for, we got to get going here. Hey, but the fun isn't over in terms of the arts. Who wants to hear a song? Let's bring up the comedy team of Burke and Kamen. Let's welcome Melissa and Deb.
We didn't plan this short haul thing.
Okay. All right. So we're doing a song, and it's based on a really popular song, which I'm sure many of you have heard in the Matt family, the Utica Club National Carbonation Beer Drinking Song. No
And
one.
we're not singers.
So it's going to be a sing-songy poem. Hold on, we have to put our masks on. Okay, so we changed the words. We're not really as good as John Nogus, so bear with us. You ready?
I got dragged into this, by the way. Pam Delmatico skipped town when she heard she had to do this. Okay, go. Wasn't it yesterday? Pam Matt, no more Pittsburgh, you're here to stay. Pam Matt, Rotary is the name, and this little town ain't gonna be the same. If you need a past president to adore, she's like no one you've seen before. Show up for a new member night. She will tell you Rotary is the light. She does a lot of crazy things. We know the talent that she brings. Pam Matt, Rotary's Pam is the name, and this old town ain't ever gonna be the same. Pam Matt,
That's it.
Yeah, that's on video too. That's catchy. Thank you, ladies. Oh, I'm dehydrated. There's no more. It's all gone. Thank you. We have that on video, and I think larger groups should sing that. That's very good.
Some virus for sure.
Ro Polzinski joined our club under Pam's leadership, and Ro has a special presentation. So let's welcome Ro.
Let's get it queued up, so this way she gets the full effect. Some of you may have received the email on this, so we'll get it all ready. Okay. So Dana bet me $5 that this was going to make Pam cry, but I'm kind of worried about you, Dana. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
We're good? Everyone's got their little tissues? Thank you, Joanne. Andy, you got the towel set? So an email went out hopefully most of you received it, and asked for a word that described Pam. What you will see is a compilation of some of them. I couldn't fit them all, especially supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That was my favorite. I just couldn't fit it in. So we'll let that play for just a minute, and then we'll say a few things. Well, it didn't play. So what we have in red are the words that all of you described her. We have enthusiastic, electrifying, spirited, I'm trying to get this so I can see it, dedicated, awe-inspiring, energetic, passionate, diligent, dynamic, unstoppable, yepper, I hope someone knows what that one means, trustworthy, and of course, the Energizer Bunny. And when I think of Pam, I think of Rotarian, kind, a leader, and for the little backstory, some of you may not know, is I led the committee that hired Pam for the Chamber of Commerce. So Pam and I have had some history long before Rotary. And yes, Joanne, after my interview with her, she ran around the table and said, I just feel like I got to give you a hug. So, can relate. Courageous. We have wife, mother, and friend. She is a role model. She is determined. She is inspiring. She's a connector. She is selfless. I don't know if I mentioned kind. She is a confidant. And my particular favorite is she's joyous. And that's a word that kind of means a lot because you want to have joy in your life and in everything you do. And when I think of Pam, I think of joyous. And her joy comes from helping all of us. Whether it's helping us to join Rotary. Oh, there we go. Or seeing us succeed, or helping the foreign exchange students or the chamber members. She brings joy. So let's do a round of applause for Pam and her joyous year. And so she has it. What we have for her is a framed copy of this, so she can always remember it. Thank you. I didn't cry, Dana. I made it.
Isn't that nice? I didn't see my entry there, Twitter squasher. I guess there wasn't enough room. Yeah, oh. That's fine. Thank you, Jill. I've had the best seat in the house for this program today because every time someone approaches the podium, and I'm going to try to do this faithfully, Pam utters something like, uh-oh. But I think it's been great. It's been a tremendous year. Jim mentioned 30-plus members, a number that just blew away the district, something that we haven't seen in District 7150 in decades. And it's just a testament to everything that we've heard today. I'm going to call on Andy Alicia, Chair of the Past Presidents Committee, for a presentation. Let's welcome Andy.
I will lower this. Thanks, Dana.
I'm with you.
Is it the right height for you when I call you up? Okay. First of all, I really do want to thank, there was a group of past presidents that started the arrangements and the organization of today's event, but we also want to thank all of the folks that participated in coming here and thanking Pam in their different ways. So I wanted to make sure everybody got credit for that. I'm going to take one business, we got to take care of one little piece of business. I see maybe about 8 or 9 past presidents here. I believe we have a quorum, and we have to, we can't just bring you into the past presidents club. You have to take a formal vote. So it could go one way, it could go another way, I'm not really sure. Can I? No, well, maybe. Can I see by show of hands how many do not want Pam to be to join us in the Past Presidents
Is there
Club.
discussion to be had?
We don't have any buys in it, though.
Can we talk about this? Can we have a
We
discussion
could.
first?
Huh?
Can
You
we
want
have
it?
a
Sure.
discussion first? Go ahead. Among the past the past presidents.
Well, I didn't want to give you too much time to deliberate.
Oh, all right. It's early.
You're going to make it tough on her, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, I don't see any no's. Does that mean,
Any questions?
okay, any questions?
Is she gonna make us work harder?
Probably.
Oh, wait a minute. I need my Twitter account.
Can he keep his Twitter account? Yeah.
Can I hear her sing the song Pam Matt?
Hey, wait a minute, wait. You're not in the club yet. You don't get to talk. You're next, by the way. Yes, sir. Whoa. See what you started?
Yes, as long as we get a sample pack of all of the beers that they make.
She's in?
I'm on the yes side.
Okay.
But then you have to have it at the Comets game.
Oh,
Believe it or not, this is all scripted.
yeah.
I hope you're enjoying it.
Okay. I'm going to, again, take that to mean there's a unanimous vote of the past presidents to accept Pam into our club.
Past presidents accept.
Thank you. You'll second it? All in favor?
Aye.
Awesome. One last bit of shtick. If the big towel wasn't enough, we got you a purse size. Crying towel. It could go on your golf cart if you play golf, or in your purse, with the Rotary symbol. And this is for you. This is from District Governor, this is from past District Governor Lou.
Don't use it as a crying towel.
Don't use it, it says the crying towel.
Now to get serious, only, I shouldn't say, this is not gonna sound right, but even though I know members appreciate what you did during your year, I think only past presidents can really appreciate what you did, because I won't speak for them, but I know I'm really envious of what you achieved in your year, and my year wasn't so good, wasn't so hot. So in small token of appreciation for your year, we'd like to present you with the past president's plaque, hopefully put on the wall of your office. And a past president's pin with a 10-carat zirconium diamond. I won't even attempt to pin it on you, but
There we go. Thank you
congratulations.
very much.
Thank you very much. Would you like to say anything?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for everybody that participated. We'll start off with this one over here, who this morning thought after 35 years I would be able to believe him when he said, "Oh, I don't know if I can make it to Rotary tonight." Then I hear him tell Joanne on his way in, "Oh, I messed with her this morning." I got her all confused. I guess one of the takeaways that I have from this is that maybe I come out a little strong and a little passionate about whatever I do. But I guess where that comes from is deep in my heart. I love Rotary, and when I love something, I want to share it. So while my kids might have said, "Oh, geez, I got to sleep on the couch with some blankets in the basement," at the end of the day, they had a really nice experience. And I want that for everybody that I try to share it with. And so I guess that's really what it's about. And the takeaway too is you get so much more back than what you give. So I appreciate all of this. And if I strong arm you, I'll still be back at you. Because I want to spread the word of Rotary. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, I'll make this short because I can't do much to follow that act. Thank you, Andy, for pulling this all together. Thank you, Dana, for being at the head table and emceeing it. And of course, we are thanking you, Pam, for the great job you did. We'll see if anyone shows up for that. Next week's program, we have Columbus School Honor Students. So we'll open up the wall, hopefully, and have a whole bunch of people here. So try to make sure you make it to that meeting. It's always great to see these young people who are getting straight A's at Columbus School, all because we promised them chicken fingers once every 6 months, okay? So thanks again, Andy and team, everyone that was a presenter and everyone that planned today's event. And unless there's nothing else going on, stand up and help me recite the four-way test. So the things we think, say,